Hey, it's the FingerNailFixer coming to you live for my first UK video. And we're going to actually do something I like to call flag envy with a partial Union Jack. I've started off with 2 cured coats of cream puff, and then I'm going to use the bright red additive as well as the cerulean blue additive. And what I'm going to do is actually mix these additives in to use as a kind of a paste or even a watercolor paint, however you prefer to view it. So I'm going to get a brush ready, and to do the Union Jack I'm going to use kind of a flat square brush, and then I'm also going to use a smaller detailing brush. I'm going to start off with a little bit of red, and I'm just going to place that on a dish actually. You could use a tile, you could use a paint palette, whatever makes you happy. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the dish and then clean the tool off that I scooped the additive with, because I'm also going to use it with the blue. And then I'm going to take some disperse. For those of you watching the video in the US, this would be equivalent to alcohol. And I'm going to put just a little bit of the disperse on the additive. And stir it up with the brush to create a paint. Then I'm going to use that to make a long red stripe down one side of the nail. And as you can see, the additive kind of creates a paint. So I'm literally just painting that on. And by using a square brush, it gives me that crisp line down the side. Except for when I bump into the tripod, and then I kind of get the little squiggle. But I'll show you how to clean that up. Then I'm going to come in and do a stripe of red going across the center. I'm going to use the corner of the brush. This is another advantage of using the square brush. I'm going to get some red on the corner and bring red diagonally out my corners. Just kind of making a portion of the Union Jack. Wouldn't this be fun on side-by-side nails if you face the design towards each other, or even on big toes, if you had one toe as part and the other toe facing? So we're off to a start with our red. And before I use the striping brush to create the blue, I'm actually going to put a little bit of my disperse or alcohol and use the brush to clean up my line. So here where the red got a little squiggly, I'm just going to come in and clean it up. I had a little too much alcohol on the brush. So now that the brush is a little drier, it's cleaning up a little easier. And then I'm going to come in and add the blue. So I'm going to put a little scoop of blue on the dish. And a little bit of additive goes a long way. and the disperse of the alcohol dry pretty quickly. So start up with a little bit and just keep adding as you need it. Put a few drops of additive in with my blue. A few drops of additive. Put a few drops of disperse in with my blue additive. And then I'm going to come in and make my blue corners. So just start off at about the same point that your red comes to, and leave a little bit of white in between the blue and the red. Can you see the flag starting to come about? And on this, the lines aren't perfectly extremely straight, but I think it gives it a little bit of character. You could go back in after this dries and add a little more red or a little more blue if you wanted to get a darker look, or if you wanted it to have kind of that faded, worn look, you could leave it the way it is. I think I need to come in a little further here with my red and my blue. I don't think I came quite far enough into these corners. So I'm going to clean my blue out of my detailing brush. The red is dry. So I would go ahead and mix up a little bit more red and kind of bring the red a little closer to the corners. And once I was happy with it, I would go ahead and do one layer of top coat and cure for 2 minutes. Have fun from the UK.